You know, that sounds like a lot like the theme to Shaft. And
Shut your mouth.
the only thing George has in common with Shaft is they're both bad mothers. Them and that woman and that woman that had like the 8 kids. My name is Kay Lazar. This is Hank. How you doing, Hank?
I'm doing pretty good this week.
And yeah, it's great to see you again. And
Good to be back.
good to be back. And it's a lot going on in the news. We're going to be talking all about the midterms and everything, and all the good that's come out of it, all the bad. It depends what side you're on. And this is the Gorgeous George Show. And if this is an unlisted show, so you're watching it on the internet right now. We're going to try to talk about stuff that you didn't see on the other cable networks, you know. So I was watching, I think it was MSNBC, and they were so excited about the House, and I was watching Fox, and they were so happy about the Senate. But also Fox was upset about that caravan coming from 900 miles away from the border, and it's almost like at its doorstep, and they're afraid of a bunch of, I guess, old ladies and children coming into this country. You know what trouble they cause, don't you? So, okay, so how's your week been?
It's been pretty good. Been doing this and that. And then
Doing that?
My girlfriend's got an operation yesterday.
Oh.
I had to get up early in the morning.
Yeah,
And I didn't get to sleep till late last night.
yeah, but you're all right.
Yeah, I'm in a daze.
You're in a daze.
Yeah. My guitar arm's hurting today.
Oh.
That's why I brought the ukulele.
Well, use your left hand.
Yeah.
Now, also,
From experience.
yes, also, yes. If you use your left hand, it'll feel better. It'll feel like someone else. Now, tell me, but you're all right. You look like the peak of health, right?
Yeah, I'm in pretty good health.
Yeah, yeah. And tell me, let's see. I meant to ask you last week. You've done a lot of traveling. You've been, where have you been?
I've
That
been
you
to
can tell.
Alaska, Antarctica, France, England, Scotland, Norway. Been to the Arctic Circle.
You been to Mars?
And been to China. on the
China.
the Great Wall of China. That was my first.
Yes.
You been to Mars?
No, I haven't been to Mars, but they have my name on a CD that went on the Mars rover in
Okay.
2000.
Oh, wow.
And grab yourself for this one. Have you been to Uranus?
No.
Now China. Yeah, I see a picture of you with at the Great Wall,
Yes.
and it is a Great Wall, isn't it?
Yes, it's very big. It goes on for miles, and
Yes.
everybody there was really friendly. Everybody
Yeah.
wants a picture taken with you.
Yes. All
I
right.
felt like a celebrity.
Yes.
Then when we got on the river and went to the dam, and this man kept on wanting to get in the picture, so
Yes.
I called him my damn friend because that's what I meant there.
Now, this guy is American or Chinese?
Chinese.
Oh, it's Chinese.
I was a Chinese. Everybody wants to get in the picture.
Chinese.
If you
Oh,
can take
great.
a picture, then they want to take pictures of you. And
Yes.
So it was pretty neat. Everybody was really nice and friendly over there.
Yeah. A lot of Chinese people.
And we started out in Beijing, then went
Yeah.
to the next
Ah,
city
yeah.
to see the terracotta soldiers. Then we went
Yes.
6 days on the Yangtze River. Then we ended up in Shanghai.
Yeah.
These guys in there, we mess around.
Let me tell you something. I wanted to. I was thinking of going to China and buy souvenirs there, but then I realized everything I own in America was made in China, so I don't have to.
One
You
thing-
save money on souvenirs.
One thing, I went downtown, like Times Square in Shanghai, and people are really friendly. I had about 8 or 10 girls walked up to me and said they wanted to show me a good time.
Oh, good.
You know, 'cause I walked
No,
around
hey,
and
what'd you do?
nothing.
Well, you should have went for that.
No, they're not getting
They
a
pay
hair.
you, and they pay you for your time?
Pay you?
That's right.
In what fantasy world do women pay men?
Happens all the time, Kevin. All the time.
We had a good view of that TV tower that's got the balls on. Like we were like 22 stories
Oh.
up at the hotel, 1 block from the river, and you could look right out the window. It was right there across the
In the
river.
Olympics, I saw. Yeah.
You always see in the Jackie Chan movies. and
Jackie
stuff.
Chan, yeah.
It's always in the background when you see Shanghai.
Yeah.
And the terracotta soldiers, they were at, I can't remember the name of the city, but
Yeah.
they were like hundreds and thousands of them. And
Yeah.
You still got more to find.
Yeah.
It was an amazing trip.
You know that the terracotta soldiers came to Richmond, so I just waited around and they came here. Oh, what's that I hear? I think that bad mother is on his way. All right, welcome. It's we're in November right now. Welcome to the star of our show. He has this is him, Gorgeous George.
Yeah.
Got a sitting ovation.
Hey there, how you doing, ladies and gentlemen? It is Gorgeous George. Believe it or not. Woo! Diamonds are forever, and so is Gorgeous George. Woo! Now, we had an erection which led to an election. The erection was very good, and believe it or not, it led to a great election. Hank, what's going on with you?
Nothing much.
It's just like how I put you, just put you out there. Not, well, how do I come after the guy? What should I say after that?
Tiresome day.
No, I'm saying no. It's been now.
Yeah.
You are a man's man. You are out there, so the women start paying you. Okay, you go out to these places, the women start paying you for your time, and then you go ahead and you say, "Well, my flag just flew off," and then you go ahead and just say, "Hey," and then you have a good time. I mean, you can't beat that. You're not spending a dime. All right, and those girls from Beijing and those girls from China, and yes, all right. God bless America, land of the free. I'm gonna lose the words. Right beside me and guide me through the long Jersey shore. Okay, anyway, so you get what I'm going with this. Yes, 200 and, correct me if I'm wrong, don't walk in front of the camera. 223 seats in the House. Am I correct with that, Kevin?
Yeah.
223 seats. The Democrats gained 27 seats in the House.
Mm-hmm.
So wave that flag. God bless America and the country that I love. So you know the deal, and you know
So
the
patriotic,
squeal.
George. You know all the words of that song.
That's right. Well, I mean, I know the word. You
remind me of Kate Smith a little.
Yeah.
Who sang that song.
Okay. Well, I thought it was Francis Della Key, or what was
No, you're thinking of
Frank's-
that other song.
Frank Scott Key, or whatever.
The anthem.
Oh, okay. Yes.
God Bless America is just a patriotic song.
Okay. Well, the anthem.
Sometimes you hear it before ball games.
Yeah.
But it's Star Spangled Banner is the song.
You know what? And I don't even have my phone. I wanted to play your answering service because it's your brand new song.
Yeah.
I guess we can't play it, can we?
No.
Can we? Does this phone dial out? Does this
No,
phone?
we don't think so. But we have better things to do. I got this.
Next week we're playing that answering service. Okay.
I worked very hard to find the right clothes to wear tonight.
Okay.
And look, I didn't realize this, but this is one of your ties. It says George on the back. I'm not
Is it
kidding
really?
you.
Is it really?
It's a George. It's from
Well,
George.
I don't wear ties.
Yeah, I know. Well, neither does Jerry Garcia. In fact, he's dead.
Yeah.
But and Rush Limbaugh and now George have their own line of ties.
Well, if you go to
You're good,
you
you're
go to
good.
Walmart, you'll see the line of George.
The George.
The line of George at
that's where I
Walmart.
got it.
Yeah, this is where you go. This is where you go. All right, so there's a lot of things that have blossomed and blooming and coming in about, and we see now that Jeffrey Sessions has resigned. Oh, goodness gracious. Now,
Yeah.
who would have seen that coming? Just right after the midterms, right after, oh my God, right after the Democrats pretty much, took over. And then all of a sudden today we had a real interesting interview, or not an interview, talking to the press. That would be Donald J. Trump. Talking to the press today and talking to them and telling them this, that, and the other, and telling them basically that, talking about the Senate, oh, well, we've gained 3 seats, could be 4, but it's probably 3 seats. You all would know that. And he was talking about that. And of course, then when the guy from CNN came on, he told him in so many words to shut his mouth. The guy from CNN, the guy from
Don
CNN.
Lemon?
No, not Don Lemon.
Wolf?
It was a reporter that came on, and it was quite. How they after the
Situation
presentation-
room.
Right. So then the person was asking questions, and said, "Well, you haven't talked about the House. You haven't talked about the House and whatnot." And of course, and then basically he got very loud and told him basically that we don't. You're the cause of this. You're the cause, and your organization is the cause of all this. Are the ones, the evildoers and whatnot. So it's funny. In a twisted way, it's funny how he goes off on that. But here is the situation. I find it very interesting, as Artie Johnson would say. Very interesting. Very interesting.
Very interesting.
Very interesting.
funky.
That basically that Jeffrey Sessions all of a sudden is forced to resign.
Yeah, forced. I think. Yeah, that's what I wanted to correct you. I don't
And-
think he resigned on his
He
own.
resigned. He was
I
forced to
think.
resign.
I think he was pushed out.
Now,
And
one
he
can only
was
imagine.
fired by. Whenever they ask you to resign, you're pretty much fired. And the whole point was that almost as soon as he became the attorney general, he recused himself because he spoke to the Russians. He says, "I cannot deal with this. I cannot. I have no. I have. It's a conflict of interest. I cannot talk." And then, of course, Trump at that moment said, "Why did I ever pick this guy?" So he fired him, and now the Democrats and the Robert Mueller investigation is in turmoil because they were, because if he could do that, he could be,
Well-
almost like a Richard Nixonian situation right
It's
now.
to the point where
Look what happened.
Trump
How well
said,
that turned out for Nixon.
Trump said basically that if you start this with me, we'll start it back with you. So basically, in so many words, he said that if you start, digging, we'll reopen the case and start digging on your candidates and your party. So it's like back and forth. But I think that what he needs to do at this very moment, and I think that basically that it's healthy to have balances and checks. When you have balances and checks, then you are forced to be able to, whether you want to or not, you have to be able to be bipartisan and have to work with the other side. You can't just make rules and laws that you feel at a whim. Make laws and rules that you feel at a whim. I think now, and of course what he should do is go back to the 90s and take a note from Bill Clinton, our best living day president, and see what Bill Clinton did. Bill Clinton had to give a little bit to get a little bit. And that's pretty much what it was. So if I was Donald Trump right now, I would sit back and look and see what the best president did in our lifetime, William Jefferson Clinton, Bill Clinton, and take notes, okay, and see what he did by giving a little bit and getting a little bit, and conceding a little bit, and then getting what you need. NAFTA was in the mix with that. That's probably the one bad thing that happened out of it, giving in to NAFTA. But other than that, we had the best economy under Clinton. We had the best economy under Clinton by far. So that's what needs to happen, pretty much, I think.
Yes, it's important to note that that even with that reach across the aisle after the midterms, that the Republicans still went forward to bring Mr. Clinton to trial, and they did not remove him from office, but they did. But they kind of wasted a lot of good opportunities there, the Republicans, because they put all their efforts towards that. toward the impeachment. Now,
Censure.
at the same time,
Censure.
no, but okay, whatever you say. But whatever the case, they would be damn
Never was
fools. They would be damn fools.
Never was
The
rude.
Republicans right now, or the Democrats, I mean, to go forward with any sort of thing. Let the Donald serve out his term, and then try to work. Try to get things passed rather than waste it all on trying to bring him to trial because everyone is like smelling this impeachment in the air for Donald it's never a good idea.
I have said this I said it even on Facebook. I don't dislike the Donald. A lot of the people that are friends with me on Facebook do dislike Donald. I don't dislike the Donald. I think that he is good for his persona. He's kind of he's bravado. I mean, he's kind of like me in some ways, that he doesn't take any BS. Well, and of course, it has nothing to do with people of everyday society and whatnot, but dealing with what I have been dealing with throughout the years on the internet. And we're not going to get in. I'm not opening that door up and even mentioning that, but dealing with the crap and the shit that I have had to deal with on the internet for a long time is bravado. I don't take any BS. And of course, in some ways, the Donald and I have that same. He doesn't take any BS. He's a matter of fact and wants to protect his image and protect his reputation. The difference between he and myself is basically that I am not a politician.
Are you a billionaire?
I'm not a billionaire. I'm not a politician. I'm not a billionaire.
You have a young wife,
and I'm not we are celebs, but we're not that nationwide celebs. We are known, but we're not really celebs. We're not getting paid. We're not getting paid for all of that.
You can be a celebrity and not get paid.
You're not well known. You're not getting paid to be the celeb if everybody knows you. We are. Some older people here know us or have seen us, but we're not like this is the 6 o'clock news or the 12 news or whatever it says. And here is Gorgeous George. That would be
the weather.
Yes, here's Gorgeous George. Or here's Gorgeous George with sports.
With sports.
Here's Kay Lazar, in the traffic.
Yes.
Right, Kay Lazar traffic. But you kind of get where I'm going. I don't consider myself to be a celebrity in that level. I mean, I am a celebrity, but I'm not a celebrity into nationwide being known, and to the degree that. And so, if there's stuff there, it's stuff that shouldn't be there. If it's stuff that's out there, it's stuff that's not accurate. It shouldn't be there. So I can kind of relate. to him. But the thing is basically that what Trump does, he tries to goat. He tries to goat different people. Trump will, what he did to Hillary Clinton was ridiculous. When they had a debate, and this is the same man that has donated to the Clinton Foundation back in the 90s. This is the same man that invited the Clintons to his daughter's wedding, invited to his wedding and the daughter's wedding, invited to their families get-togethers.
OJ was there.
They invited the Clintons and whatnot, and he's donated to the Clinton Foundation.
Howard Stern and OJ were at that same wedding.
There you go. So what gets me is, basically all of a sudden that where the debate was going on, and with Hillary Clinton, they brought all these women that allegedly had bitter prunes for Bill Clinton and whatnot, and tried to cause an awkwardness and uneasiness. So no, but you see the tactics and some of the things that
They did
Donald
get settlements. Those women. They were.
Some of the things that the Donald has done has been a little bit questionable. Now, when you get settlement,
it was probably the lowest point in debates when that happened, and I almost couldn't even watch it at that point. It was the second debate of the three.
So basically,
the third one was a little better, but
what gets me is
it was like the Jerry Springer show of a debate.
So he goes ahead and does that against Bill Clinton, but yet his mantra is grab him by the pussy. Billy Bush was in the Entertainment Tonight. Well, I have a Tic Tac in the mouth, and I'm going to grab him by the pussy.
Yeah.
So, so this little
and that did not sink Donald Trump either.
So I guess he can say pretty much anything, and say anything that he wanted to say. But the whole thing with that debate, kind of indirectly attacking Hillary, that was kind of BS, attacking Bill. Because we know that the Clintons have been attacked relentlessly before. So he was trying to attack Hillary and Bill, and of course, Hillary pretty much won all those debates. And Hillary won the popular vote. Let's not forget that. But all that being said, we know that the Russians were involved in the election. We already know about that. Vladimir, pretty much smudged up the election. Hillary should have been president. Hillary was more qualified to be president. We know that.
That doesn't mean a thing.
That
It's
means
who gets the most
that
votes.
means and
who gets the most
it means-
electoral votes.
That means a lot.
That's
public
how the
image.
founding fathers.
That means a lot because a popular vote should prevail. The popular vote should prevail, and she should have been president. And she should have been president because without the interference from Russia and Vladimir Putin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we can debate that all you want. I mean, that's the truth.
They influenced probably three states that put in the electoral vote.
They influenced-
Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, which normally go blue.
Yeah.
And
Well,
they
and
put
Michigan too.
Huh?
Michigan also.
Michigan. And was able to.
So it
tip
was
the balance
altered.
For,
The election was altered. Vladimir had altered the election. We already know that.
That's and
So
you want to know
that
all that
being said-
hacking may have cost the Russians probably no more than like $150,000 to hire people to hack, not so much hack, but to enter on the social media like Facebook and put this all this nonsense
Right.
on there to obfuscate and get people's ideas to vote a certain way.
And somebody is fashionably late. I wonder.
all this what do you call it, conspiracy theories and all. I tend to deal with the here and now, and just.
I wonder who's fashionably late
you know,
tonight. Who's
So
coming?
I'm not really worried about it because we're here.
Well, I'm just saying that it's not a conspiracy. Kevin, it's not a conspiracy theory if it's the fact. It's
Well,
not a conspiracy
that is
theory
the fact
if
about
it's
the Russians.
you know,
Well, the Russians. I mean,
if it's a fact.
the FBI is.
If it's a fact, it's not a conspiracy theory. It's a fact.
They're just trying to pin some sort of.
So, all that being
evidence,
said-
Robert Mueller's investigation. Evidently, they haven't gone through with it yet because they can't get it to stick.
The reason why we know that Jeffrey Sessions has been removed, so to speak, fired, if you will, and that's what it has been fired, because he doesn't want the cat out of the bag. He doesn't want pretty much when they go to the investigation to have anything being said that was known. Of course, Jeffrey Sessions would probably slip up and might say something. So that was the whole idea that, it was just so ironic. So he didn't want him to be able to be known or to be known. So, the convenient thing to do, but it's just kind of right after the midterms. So it kind of puts it in a spin.
Well,
and that's the reason why he went bye-bye. That's why he was let go. He was let go because Trump was concerned about that. He wanted to cover his butt.
Well, they also wanted to push through before the midterms. They wanted to push through the Supreme Court pick of Brett Kavanaugh.
Right.
Kavanaugh, because they knew that
Because if
it wasn't approved after the midterms, something like this could happen, and
If it was
they
after
wouldn't have
midterms, he would not have been elected. He would not have been elected. We know that.
Approved, yeah.
Merrick Garland would have been. Merrick Garland.
No, I'm talking about
Brett Kavanaugh.
if they were fearful of a Democratic, as it turns out, majority in the House,
I'm right there
and they
with
would
you.
have voted against Brett
And they would have
Kavanaugh.
probably brought Merrick Garland back into the frail.
They probably could have.
That's why they probably should have. We know that. So that being said, yes, this kind of very interesting, but we know how interesting it is and how a little bit ironic, and we know how ironic it is because he wants to protect his butt. He wants to not have old Jeffrey say the wrong thing or have Jeffrey Sessions blurp out something he shouldn't say because of his dementia or whatever. So
You have more irony
dementia.
than a 14-year-old girl, George. I think it's like the 6th time you said ironic tonight.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're taking notes. Why don't you get a number 2 pad and we'll have a test after the show, and you'll probably fail too.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, so that being said, we've talked about that. So it is something of another to think about, and just to reflect upon where we're going to be going in the next 2 years. Because in the next 2 years, it's going to be, right punch, left punch, uppercut, right punch, left punch, another uppercut, and this is going to be a malaise. It's going to be back and forth, and we're going to be going to 2020 now.
It's important to note that if Donald Trump has an opportunity to pick another Supreme Court justice, they would be approved by the Senate, because the Senate is the one who approves the Supreme Court justices. So he does. The Republicans still have the Senate. So and their main thing is Supreme Court justice. So
you have the
counting on
Senate.
Breyer and
You have the Senate
Ruth Bader Ginsburg
and the House.
Sotomayor.
The Senate
Yeah,
and the
okay.
House, it has to be uniformed. Senate and House has to be uniform. It has to go through both, if I'm not mistaken. It would have to go through both the Senate
Yeah,
and
but
the
they
House.
usually are approved
Senate
by
and House.
rote. They're not. It's very hard not to approve unless they have so much against them, like Robert Bork did years ago, and as a result, it's been like a mud fight ever since
Right.
for Supreme Court justices. But I mean, even Clarence Thomas got approved. Brett Kavanaugh got approved.
Well-
That's why Merrick Garland wasn't never put up there, because he would have gotten the rubber stamp like everyone else.
Well, I don't know.
yeah.
I'm just saying that it would be the thing to do. Now, so this is going to be interesting. In today, I mean, pretty much, Trump was pretty much very animated. He was very animated. He was going off on the reporters. It's almost like he wanted to reach out there and grab him by the collar and do it like WWE style.
Like he did to.
I don't dislike Trump. I think Trump is kind of funny. He's kind of dare we say, bravado. So I don't dislike Trump. I think Trump is, but I think that some of the things he does, he has no filter. He has, it's like you got to know when to hold him and know when to fold him and know when the dealing is done. You pick and choose your battles. That's the key thing in life. That's what it teaches you. You pick and choose your battles. Doesn't make you any weak. You pick, and I'm a picking and I'm a grinning. Hee-haw! And that's what you have to do. You got to pick and a grin, and it kind of works itself out, basically. So I like Trump. I do like Trump. But President of the United States, nada. Hank, you got anything to say about that?
Well, we got a man of color in there. He's always orange on television.
Okay.
He don't get too much makeup.
Yeah.
I like Trump.
You like Trump?
Yeah.
I like Trump. I've actually seen Trump when he came to Richmond.
Yeah. Did you shake his hand?
No, I mean I didn't get close to him because he was.
Okay.
There
was somebody there was somebody there that you got really close to a few years ago, and that somebody, my friend, is going to probably be the next president of the United States. And you know who I'm talking about.
Joe Biden.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I met Joe
please,
Biden
no.
when he came.
Oh yes.
Please.
Oh,
He's
yes.
the best 85-year-old man for the job.
Because I'm going to tell you what.
Dead.
Well,
After-
then Vince, you're going to be dead.
After
I'd rather be dead
Then-
because then I won't have any money to spend on my funeral.
Then you will be dead then, because I'm going to tell you what.
Why?
Joe Biden is running in 2020,
And he'll
and
lose.
Joe Biden is going to win against Trump in 2020.
There's no
And
way.
we will talk about that. Any denomination, any amount of greenback you want to put up, we'll talk about it.
You think,
And this time, we'll put it somewhere where
how about
we'll put it in a safe.
Elizabeth Warren?
Joe Biden is not going to win because Joe Biden don't have the characteristics to win. Joe Biden cannot win because of the economy. The economy is good. Trump made the economy good.
Who did he-
All Joe Biden is
Trump
going to do is
inherited
play.
that from Barack Obama.
He did not inherit that from Barack Obama.
Yes, he
Barack
did.
Obama had put the United States in an 8-year deficit.
No.
What type
Kevin,
of
I mean,
what
Vince.
type of economics are you looking at?
All right, let me tell you something. First of all,
Yeah.
you're not following the script. If you want to get technical about it, well, you know that you inherit pretty much the term before you, and it takes 1 year to a year and a half to see how that digests. What the Bush administration, the Bush term under President Cheney was horrific, was horrible, and President Cheney put this country and it just screwed this country up big time with the banking situation, and we were not in the economy
Bubble.
when the economy was
Power
horrible.
bubble.
Barack Obama turned it around. It took him a second term. It took him a second term to get the economy back. Unemployment at its lowest under Barack Obama. He was the one that orchestrated and brought this country back. So Donald Trump, yes, we have a great economy right now, but that was inherited under Barack Obama's watch.
I disagree.
And
Well, I
that's
disagree.
that's bottom line.
No, I do have something
I
to say
disagree.
about that. I agree with both of you guys. What happened was that in 2008 it was a terrible economy. Everyone knows that. And then of course whatever they voted in Barack Obama because they couldn't roll the dice again with Republicans. That's the economy is bad. You always vote for the opposite party. So then Barack got in there and steadily over 8 years. It was creeping along, never got really great, but it got, crept along, didn't get any worse.
Crept.
So, crept
Crept?
along,
Crept.
yeah.
Oh,
Creeped
crept.
along, if you want. So then by the end of it, then Barack,
Crept.
then at this point, 2 years in, you gotta hand it to Mr. Trump because he's a businessman, because he knows money and everything.
That's right.
He's kept it, it's gotten a little better. But that can stop. That can change it. Any moment. There were tax cuts that helped the rich, which was it's great.
I
for a
wanna
moment,
see-
But then that may come crashing.
I
down like
want to
this tax cut
see
did.
what he can do working with the Dems, and that is going to be the challenge because he's going to fall. He's going to fail miserably. What he wants to have accomplished is going to fail miserably. This wall is never going to happen. And it's never going to happen because if it does happen, guess who's paying for it? We're paying for it. I don't want to pay for it.
I'll pay for it.
I don't want to pay for it.
I'll pay
And I
for
don't
it.
want to have anything to have that to eat, have it pay a nickel because nothing's going to happen. Whether the Dems are in or not in, nothing has happened because all they have is barbed wire. They have barbed wire and that's it. So this wall is never going to happen. It's laughable. And Mexico is going to pay for it. Mexico is not going to pay for it because if it does get erect, we will be paying for it.
Listen.
I don't want to be paying for that.
The
We have enough border control out there that can, go ahead
Yeah.
and look at what we have. Border control through there and be able to see who's coming in and who's coming out.
Well, really?
People are going to be coming in no matter what. The bottom line is people want to come to the United States. They want to be free. Okay. Now the illegals, I get that. You have to have control, but we have enough in play. We don't need to be spinning on this frickin' wall. What we should do is have the wall around the White House as long as he's in office, and put the wall around the White House and in this big wall where he can't get out of the White House for the next 2 years, and then knock it down when he gets knocked out from Joe Biden, because Joe Biden will be the next president of the United States.
So you're telling me with my tax cut that I received is going to be taken away by Joe Biden with this high 37.5% tax when he becomes president of the United States.
The
Then
tax-
I'm going to
the
go
tax
up to
cut.
the White House and I'm going to kick Joe Biden out myself.
So what tax cut? What tax did you
man.
I received a tax cut from Trump. I got proof I received the tax
Okay,
cut.
well, bring it with you.
That's good.
Bring it with you next week so I can see it.
I will. I have to
Bring
bring
it
If I
So I
paid
can see it.
taxes, I would add.
Because I haven't received nothing.
because you're a Democrat. That's why.
I haven't received
They
nothing.
don't give anything to Democrats like you.
They don't.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Okay, again, this is all a bunch of bitter prunes. Basically, it's bitter prunes from these Republicans, and these Republicans. Did you know that? And I have to laugh at this too because Trump was going off on the Republicans that lost. He said they didn't come to me, they didn't ask for me, so they lost.
Well, they
And Mia
right.
Love, this lady, I don't know Mia Love who she is. She said she didn't come to ask for my help. No, she didn't show me any love, so she lost. So it's.
Well, a lot of Democrats lost because they didn't ask Bill Clinton for
But
help.
so they.
And this was back in
Bill Clinton
2000
is a
years ago.
higher caliber person.
But I'm talking about
Bill
the-
Clinton is an educated man that he went to an Ivy school.
Ivy
So,
school.
Ivy.
He went through Ivory
He went
School?
through an Ivy school. Don't correct me.
He went through
Don't,
Ivy
Ivy
School.
don't correct me. So basically, an Ivy League school he went to. So Bill Clinton is a little bit more educated.
well,
A little bit more educated.
He's educated, but
Very
then
much so.
again, I still had a 35% tax hit when he was president when I was in the military.
Yeah, let me tell you.
would say
Well,
we
actually,
don't need
no, a lot
to be
of
spending
Democrats-
unnecessary money where it doesn't need to be spent. We spend adequate amount of money. We need to worry about what we owe to these other countries. We need to work with these other countries and have a diplomatic relations with these other countries. Under Bill Clinton, in case you weren't in here, so I want you, Vince, your homework right now, because we're going to have a test right after the next 10 minutes. So get your number 2 pencil out. Listen to the teacher. Don't scratch your ass. Listen to the teacher. Under Bill Clinton, why Bill Clinton was so respected, and Bill Clinton had a great 8 years because he gave a little bit to get a little bit.
Yeah.
He gave a little bit till he worked with the Republicans, and he got a little bit back. So Bill Clinton,
Yeah,
why
he got
Bill
censored.
Clinton was so popular, and why Bill Clinton was well revered and loved by America with the highest approval rating in '96, the highest approval rating, I believe it's 72%, 70%. Yeah. So go back and look at that.
Yeah.
So the 70% right there, he was the highest approval rating because he was a do leader, and he did what he needed and what he said he was going to do. Run this country.
That must have missed the
So-
mark between the military people.
Actually-
because the military
Well,
people only gave him
I don't know.
9% approval
But I'll
rating
tell you-
because he sucked at his job.
But
You
let me
said
tell you-
90%. You said 90%.
9%.
Let me-
Listen,
No.
clean your ears, George.
Yeah.
9%.
72%.
9%.
So I don't know
of the
what planet
military.
you're on. Was it Uranus or Jupiter or Saturn?
I'm telling
on
you
Earth
people the
right
truth.
now. I'm on
Let
Earth
me-
right
Don't
now, and
listen
I
to
know
the
what I'm
CNN
doing.
guy here.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. No, I gotta
Fox
tell you.
News will teach you how not to think, and you've been glued to Fox News a little too long. That's obvious.
Yeah, if you want
Okay.
to believe magic.
If you want to,
and-
well, I'm not. But it has
stuff.
nothing to do with that. You don't listen to Fox News because friends don't let friends listen to Fox News.
Well, Fox News is all conspiracy theories and
Yeah,
nonsense.
it's not conspiracy. Yeah, but I mean,
Let me tell you, no, but let me,
Really?
I'm not here to talk about Fox News. I'm in the 2000 election with Al Gore, a lot of Democrats, and Al Gore himself did not accept Bill Clinton's help because of Bill Clinton's low approval rating at the time. And the story goes that Clinton actually said in the White House that that's the way Al Gore's going to be. I hope Bush wins. And as it turned out,
That's
Bush,
messed up.
it was a close, as everyone knows what that.
I
awful
want
election-
you. If we have an internet, and well, do we have internet access in here?
No.
Because I want to prove something right now. Bill Clinton had the highest approval rating in his second term during all that. And well, do we have internet access?
How about Ronald Reagan that high?
Yeah, I
No,
thought
Yeah,
be
Ronald
quiet, be quiet, be quiet, be
Ronald
quiet.
Reagan.
Bill
I
Clinton
gotta
had the
see
highest
this.
approval rating
I disagree
than
with
all
you.
the other presidents
I
in there.
disagree.
Well, I don't give a blank's ass what you. Go back there
You
and,
don't
and
wanna
prove.
listen to me
I don't
because-
care what you got to say. I know the facts because I know what the facts are. Do we have
How
that?
about Lincoln's approval rating?
Take a look at it and tell me what Bill Clinton's approval rating was during the Monica Lewinsky thing.
Yeah,
Well, that's where
During the Monica Lewinsky thing in
impeached
'98,
and
what
got
is
off.
he? Well, he was not impeached, sir.
He was impeached.
He was censured.
He was impeached.
He was not impeached.
He was
He
impeached.
was
No, he was
not
not.
removed
He
from
was.
office.
He was not impeached.
Yes,
he
he
was
was.
censured.
He was impeached.
Okay, well,
But not-
impeached
yeah, but
is
not
to
removed
remove.
from office. No, it doesn't.
Impeached is to
No, it
remove.
doesn't.
Yes,
Can't
it
be right.
is.
No, it doesn't
George.
because Nixon was supposed to be impeached and he wasn't removed from office.
Obviously,
either.
Vince,
resigned.
Yeah, he resigned.
you have stepped on a turd tonight. Or some kind of thing.
Yes,
you
because
stepped on a turd in the toilet seat
because I lost my race. I was supposed to win last night and I
Oh,
lost.
you ran?
Yeah, I was ahead and I lost.
if you're affiliated with the wrong party, then you will lose
Were
every
you
time.
running against Abigail Span-Berger?
No.
Manuela, I want to know exactly what you come up with. Give me that percentage right now to shut these people up, to shut them up back here. I know I'm serious.
Actually,
because
I'm
Bill
sorry.
Clinton had the highest approval rating.
Let me tell you.
Bill Clinton had the highest approval rating. Shut the events up right now. Angela, please tell me what that is.
T. Hank actually ran. Tell us about your.
No,
you
Angela,
ran for
no,
election
he's
once.
looking. He's looking.
He's looking, but I'm not.
Well, I
looking.
gotta see
We
this.
have-
Hold
we
on
gotta
a second.
talk.
Do we have
Let me
internet
tell you
connection in
this.
here? I'm
Well,
going to
while
buy
we're
on this
looking,
right now.
T. Hank, why don't you tell us about when you
98
ran?
and 98.
When you ran, what was it like?
Everybody talks about everybody on stage, but then they all shake hands at dinner together
Yeah.
later. And
Now,
then-
how well did you
it's like
do?
the wrestling matches.
How many votes did you get?
Well, I didn't get a lot of votes, but the Petersburg newspaper said dollar for what I spent and everybody else spent. I had the best for my buck. 'Cause I spent like $1,500.
Okay.
And I had that many votes. Well,
$1 a vote.
All right,
the
so
Republicans.
this has become a Jerry Springer show right now. Obviously, it's supposed to become.
$350,000.
Yes.
You know,
Become a Jerry
it's
Springer
like,
show or the
I spent my own money.
WWE wrestling right now is what we're doing.
Now, did you now what were like your what made you different from other guys that were running? What was like your platform?
I didn't talk bad about the other candidates.
Yeah.
And my platform was to get a brain injury facility in Chesterfield County for, not the military people, because they have one at the military hospital, like they did in Henrico. They
Yeah.
still don't have one there.
Oh, I see. You were like you ran to like fulfill the push through something.
Push through.
Yeah.
In Henrico, it's called the Mill House, and they
Yeah.
train people that have brain injuries to answer phone and
Yeah.
do little stuff in the office where they
Yeah.
can get a little job there.
Now, let me see the tablet. Bring that tablet over
The
here.
winner of this thing gets
Bring that tablet over
a
here.
gets a foil hat to
And I'm
wear.
going to show you Reagan, and I'm going to show
You
you.
get a foil hat.
Bring
to
that-
wear.
You
bring
Reagan,
that
and I'm going to
tablet.
show you.
Bring that tablet. Bring that tablet over
Because
here.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you that, and I'm going to show you Reagan's, and I'm going to show you Goldwater's.
Sit down. Sit down.
Yeah, because
Okay, no.
no, this is it right here. This is it. Read to America what that says.
You
Don't. I don't want to hear it. Read to America what it
Lower your
says.
mouth.
Was this Fox
No,
News?
I have to.
Lower your mouth. People don't want to hear that gibberish.
I do. I want to
I
hear
don't
my own
want to hear
gibberish.
your gibberish.
I want to hear my own gibberish.
All right, so here we go.
You're just like the
Bill
CNN.
Clinton's mean job approval rating, first quarter 1993 through the first quarter as in 1999 was an average. Well, I'm going to say average. It says 53.8. That's what it says. Bill Clinton's mean job approval rating for 5 years preceding that was 51.3. Bill Clinton's mean job approval rating in 1998 was 63.8. Bill Clinton's average, I was close. Bill Clinton's average job approval rating for 1998 was thus 10 points above his overall administration date average. Bill Clinton's average job approval rating for 1998 was thus 12.5 points above his administration average for the 5 preceding 98. Now, how would you raise this up?
Yeah, you can scroll it up. Yeah, just like
Bill Clinton's average job approval rating for 1998 was 5.7 above. Okay, this is all figures here, but the figure. Okay, I said 70%. So actually, I was wrong. It was
3%.
63%.
The mean average 63.
All right, so I said no. Well, I saw. No, hold on a second, because I'm thinking I'm on fire right now. God damn it.
George W. Bush was like 32% at the highest of it.
Okay, so I said 70%. It's 63%. I thought I saw 68, but okay, that's 63.8. Okay, so the point. I mean,
What point are you trying to make, Vince?
There's two people that has a better higher percentage rating than Clinton.
And who's that?
Reagan and Nixon's first off.
Nixon?
Yes.
Well, this is not Nixon near the
Nixon?
This is Nixon near the beginning.
Yeah, Nixon near the beginning after his
He
first
was there
4
for
years.
6 years, Nixon.
Well, that's true. He was there for 6 years. All right. Yes.
Nixon was a crook. Nixon was a crook, and we already know that. Okay, and Reagan had dementia. I like Reagan, but Reagan had dementia. Will, Ali, where are you? Ali, you hiding under the table? Will, are you hiding under the table? Did you sell the Iran-Contra? You get an Iran-Contra? Will. Bill Clinton was the best living day president by far. You saw what I saw. 63%, that's better than any other president. Bill Clinton was the best living day president by all the presidents that we had, even the dead ones. In our lifetime,
Yeah.
I was born in 68, you were born in 61.
No, I was born in 74.
You were born in 61. So anyway, so we know this. This is how it boils down to.
Well, the internet's
So
never
why
lied.
don't you bite me? You hate you, Vince? Bite me, Vince. Bite me.
You know, I'm older than most of the trolls.
And
that
you
call-
Republicans
call-
can bite me also too. This is why I am a Democrat. I'm a moderate. I'm a Clinton moderate.
big bite here in a minute.
No, I don't think I'll take a bite of nothing. Bite me. Bite me, you wannabe. You Republican. You
Actually, aren't you and I we have a real politician here. He could give us some tips on how to run for president in 2020.
we have an exploratory candidacy coming up. I'm glad.
I don't admit to be 35 years old.
Exploratory candidacy in 2020. Make it right with the approach of Yared and Kravitz. I'm telling you, Yared and Kravitz.
go screw yourself.
That's my real name. Wow, we're finding out a lot about me tonight. My real name.
What does that say for Reagan? What does that say for Reagan?
What?
Well,
we never
where
doubted Reagan.
was that? Was that in?
It's right there. Show it.
Okay, so we're talking about
Homer and read what that says.
Yeah. So, okay. Well, it's about the same. It's about the same as Bill.
68.
That's all show is not the highest.
It's about the same as Bill.
Where's
okay?
what about
I got
Abraham
mine
Lincoln?
Nixon.
How about Abraham Lincoln?
Oh,
He's our greatest president,
listen,
and you know how we rewarded
Chase
Lincoln?
the ghost of Ben Carson's. Okay, do that for me.
Let me
please.
tell you something. Lincoln was our greatest president. You know how we we show our respect to Lincoln by putting him on the most worthless coin we have.
Chase the ghost of Ben Carson's. Okay. Chase the ghost of Ben Carson's, if you
Ben
would please.
Carson?
Ben Carson's. Chase
he wasn't president.
that ghost.
Ben Carson is the head of HUD, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
Well,
there.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that's his guy right there, Ben Carson. He had a snowball's chance in hell to
I
ever
don't
become
know.
president.
He's like Stan.
All right,
Laurel.
hey. So let's bring it down. So all of this is very interesting. I keep saying that. Very interesting. So we
We already
bring
did
it to the T. Well, I'm saying it again. Now, Hank, do you have a flute that you want to blow tonight, or what?
Let's play something.
Okay.
You sit down, Hank. No, sit down.
And we're going to
here.
do it
Play
right
something.
now. I mean, you're going to play the
Okay.
harmonica. Oh,
Hey,
I know
you
what
can
you're going to
learn.
do. You're going to do the tiptoe through
No,
the
I don't do that.
through the
But
tulips.
since you're wearing a white coat, I'm gonna sing white sport coat.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good song.
A white sports coat and a pink carnation. I'm all dressed up for the dance. A white sports coat and a pink carnation. I'm all alone in romance. Once you told me long ago to the promise she would go. Now she changed her mind, it seems. Someone else will hold my dream. A white sports coat and a pink
I've never heard this song before.
carnation. I'm all dressed up for the dance.
Hey!
I've never heard it. So I've never
Well,
heard
now
it.
you've heard it.
I've never heard it.
Robbins.
Everyone's heard this song but you, and now
I
everyone's heard
don't
it.
anything before Christ. I don't listen to anything before Christ. Okay, but it's interesting.
No,
Okay.
thank you for that wonderful song.
All right, so
While I was singing the song, I was researching Nixon's approval ratings. I did not know Nixon's was that high for the first 3 years. It goes to show Nixon had a 69 to 70% approval rating for the first 3 years, and then it plummeted all the way down to 15.
Well, the Big Bad War
Yeah.
played into that.
I'm gonna tell you
He had
something.
a 90-day freeze.
Hey,
of-
hey,
of
hey,
the
hey, hey,
economy.
hey,
I
hey.
remember that. I mean,
Vince.
I was born in 1974, the year he resigned, so I know all about Nixon. And then he, but then the Watergate, and then the
Yes.
cover-ups,
And the
and all the
cover-ups.
corruption and everything.
Yeah.
That he beat soundly, even with all that scandal, he beat George McGovern very easily.
Right.
And
Well-
they said that the day he resigned, they did an approval rating. He still probably would have won the election.
let me say this.
against,
Let me
McGovern.
say this. Reagan had dementia during his second term. Okay,
So,
he didn't remember what he was doing, and he was being, puppet. He was a puppet.
don't make
No,
excuses
he-
for Reagan.
he was a
I don't want to
puppet.
hear him.
Reagan
I
had.
don't want to hear him.
Reagan got tripped up because of
Reagan was a puppet.
Iran Contra.
Contra. Thank you.
And,
Iran
but at
Contra,
the
like I
same
just
time,
said.
you talk about dementia, that may have got, because all these people like Ollie North and stuff were doing all this weird stuff. probably taken advantage.
Bill
of his
Clinton
credentials.
was revered by the foreigners. The foreigners revered him. America revered him. Bill Clinton was is an educated man in an Ivy League school. He is a scholar and he is a brilliant man. So is his wife. His wife, back in the 90s, tried to do the affordable health care. Health care is something with pre-existing conditions that needs to be dealt with. And it transcended into, it came through on Obamacare. And the Republicans shut that down. Affordable health care, though, the Clintons' version of affordable health care was something that should have passed.
Single
Should have
payer
passed pretty much back in the 90s and cover pre-existing conditions.
Well, I'll tell you something, and this is a good point you made, that yesterday's election, a lot of Democrats won because they just as the Republicans were running on immigration and everything, and the Democrats were running, you elect the Republicans, is going to take away your affordable health care, all that stuff, and that was the main deciding thing that got the Democrats, a lot of them elected, including something like a lot of.
But
them,
under
like
Bill
Richmond,
Clinton, we had the best economy
including Richmond.
by far. The 90s, we flourished.
I hated the 90s.
We flourished. Everything was great. Affordable housing, and we had the
Not for me.
booming, and I mean pretty much jobs. You get to get a job like that. The best economy. Unemployment at its very lowest. Ironically, unemployment was at its lowest under Barack. And believe it or not, it was even lower than Bill Clinton's. I'll give Barack that.
4.5%.
Under Barack, he brought it down even lower than Clinton. But Clinton had it very low for unemployment. There was jobs everywhere. We flourished as a country, and we were respected by pretty much the Geneva Treaties. We were respected by the Geneva Treaties. We were respected as a whole by all the countries, by the allies out there.
But I
not
gotta
by this
tell
guy,
you,
basically.
A lot of the countries right now, Brazil and Germany's having a rough time. They're electing far right leaders. Italy, they're actually calling the guy in Brazil the Brazilian Trump, and it's almost like he's cloning himself in all these countries because that sort of leadership is what all these other countries want. These are countries, and these
The
countries are
Trump
allies
is
of ours.
liked Trump is liked because he has no filter. He's either liked or disliked. He has no filter. Some of the people like that because he has no filter. He'll say whatever. You don't know what he'll say. Okay, you don't know what he'll say. And of course, then the people that pretty much don't like him, pretty much you can't stand him because the fact of the matter, because he has no compassion, he has no filter. That's the whole thing. So either you like him or you don't like him. It's kind of like no in between. Well, there is an in between, but most people are like this and like that. But let's get at the facts straight. The economy flourished under Bill Clinton. That's all I got to say. We were in better times, better economy structure, better jobs under Bill Clinton. And I will argue that. And he was not impeached. He was censured. Impeach means to remove. Censured is what happened, and he was still president. So you think different? We'll argue this till the end of the show.
Also, I'll tell you
Till the end of
something.
the show. We've got more things to talk about.
What was great I'll tell you what was the greatest thing about the Bill Clinton years is that there was no wars during that time. There's been wars. It seems like every 20 years we get in a major war. Starting in the 2000s, 2003 actually, we've been in pretty much a never-ending war with countries. The closest thing we had to a war was when Clinton. Under the Clinton years was when Somalia.
Yes.
And once it seemed like a no-win situation, we pulled out of there. Said let the pirates run that country. It was still
Balances
a
and
terrible
checks and checks and balances. That's how it should be. So the key test upon Trump's legacy, if you want to call it that, Trump's legacy, Trump's tenure, Trump's possibility of a second term, which it won't be a second term because Joseph Biden will win.
No.
Joseph Biden will be the next president. We already know that.
I will
But
be the next president.
zip,
I will be the
zip,
next president.
zip.
What?
So
What about Elizabeth Warren?
So yeah.
What about Beto O'Rourke?
Beano tablet.
The
Beano
guy
tablet.
from Texas that had a good showing against Ted Cruz didn't win though.
What I'm saying is, Joseph Biden, the next president. Joseph Biden will be
How
the
about Tim
president
Kaine?
in 2020.
How about Mark
Tim
Warren?
Kaine. Tim Kaine would be good. They're all good.
I
Yeah.
hate him.
They're all good.
Yeah, they put that $50 toll on the Dulles toll road, making me pay
So,
$50 just to go.
Tim
to
Kaine
nobody likes
wiped the
tolls.
floor with
Who's
that.
in favor of tolls?
Tim Kaine wiped the floor with Mr. Stewart, Corey Stewart. Wiped the floor with Corey
Well,
Stewart.
let me tell you something.
Corey Stewart didn't have a chance.
No, Corey Stewart.
Tim
is
Kaine
a,
wiped the
no,
floor
Republicans
with
do.
Corey Stewart.
No, wait a minute. I'm not going to speak in favor of Corey Stewart. Corey Stewart is a white nationalist. He's like he's a pro Confederate statue type of guy. And the Republicans knew that whoever they put against Tim Kaine was going to lose.
Yep.
So they just put.
This guy.
Just put this guy out there. He's going to lose. We're going to lose to Tim
Confederate
Kaine.
soldier-
Why waste our best
Kevin,
player?
See, you say that because you know the stance I take on that. That's how you say that to debate
No, don't
that.
let Corey Stewart.
I know I'm talking about that, but the Confederate statues has nothing to do with what
It
I'm
has
talking
everything to
about.
do with Corey Stewart. Corey Stewart is one of the 5 top guys you never. I mean, I saw it on some show. 5 top guys you do not want in leadership. So I didn't even know how he even got the nomination. Corey
Again, the Confederate, the soldier, the statues on Monument Avenue, and the Confederate soldiers or the Confederate statues has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. He might be a radical. He might be in his thoughts, and radical. And that's fine. But you're bringing up some of the statues and the.
Well, it was a big deal, and not in Richmond so much, but in Charlottesville. It's now.
Well, it
Charlottesville,
was a big
where I
deal.
went to school, is now more famous for that than Mr. Jefferson's University.
It was a
So-
big deal, but it was to a point where both parties were to fault.
Oh, this is what you're and Donald Trump. If I were you,
No.
Can you kind of rephrase that? Because
Both
parties were not at fault.
Both parties were at fault, but when these Nazis come into play, yes, they had initiated all of it, but it was a situation where over something that could have been handled differently on both sides, but definitely. What they did, what that guy did, running that lady over, that was totally, yeah.
That's why it escalated like that.
It escalated
There were
like
bad
that.
guys on
And
that
what-
side.
But the point that I'm making is that some things, see, and this is where eventually there's going to be a third party involved. Eventually, probably when that 10, 20 years down the road. I have always voted Democrat, and I have been Democrat. The millennials have pretty much come about. The millennials are pretty much we're talking to the extreme left, and then the radical teabaggers to the extreme right. I have voted Democrat every single time. Eventually, the Democrat Party is going to be in the same level of being radical on both ends. I've got 3 minutes. So both ends with the Democrat Party and the Republican Party, which have the teabaggers and the extremists.
So you think the Democrat Party is going to split? Is that what you're saying?
I'm talking that eventually there will be a third party, a predominant third party. Eventually,
I will replace one of the two.
there will be the alternative.
The Republicans
Because-
replaced the Whigs.
But I'm
The
just
Whigs
saying,
replaced the Federalists.
I didn't 10 years ago. If you would have asked me this, I would have said never in a million years. I think now, though, that it's very prominent that this is going to happen. Believing when the baby boomers die off, then we're the generation. I'm Generation X. Generation X people will be the last people that are moderates, or maybe that go to the left, that are moderates. They are Clinton moderates, Clinton Democrats that are moderates. But now, they want to push away from the Clintons or whatever they want to do. So then you're going to have people then, not to the extreme, to the extreme, to the extreme. The statues on Monument Avenue, that's not even, shouldn't even be a discussion. The statues on Monument Avenue shouldn't even be a discussion to even be in the political realm to be talking about. We're talking about the economy. We're talking about jobs, the economy, jobs, and enough about all this other thing. It's you have radicals on both sides of the party, both ends, but you have more radicals on the Republican side than you do on the Democrat side.
You
That
know,
you do.
I got to tell you something about statues. It's really cool. When Ireland, I lived in Ireland for many years, and after college, and Ireland had a great, you know, when they became independent, there was all these British generals on horseback and stuff.
All right, we got
so they blew up. They started blowing up. The IRA started blowing up, but they
All right.
never replaced those,
All right,
those statues.
all right. So we're wrapping it
That
up
they
here.
have here.
One Mona Lisa, one Leaning Tower of Pisa, and only one Gorgeous George. The Democrats.
Yay.
The Democrats took over. The Democrats are in focus right now. And what you're going to do, Trump, and what you're going to do, Republicans, when the Democrats run wild all
Vinnie
over
Mac.
you. Woo!
They still hold the
See you
Senate.
next week.
George.
We hold the House
George.
by 27 seats. Take notes, you flunky. Woo!
6 in the Senate.
Woo!
All right.